Hello and welcome to part 2 of the OCR specification for looking at computing. This is section 2.1.5 databases and this is part 2. OCR need to say that in this part that we're looking at, we're going to be looking at understanding the relationship between entities and tables, understanding components of a relational database such as tables, forms, queries, reports and modules, understand the use of logical operators in framing database queries, and explain the usage of key fields to connect tables to avoid data redundancy, and finally describe methods of validating data as its input. So, entities and tables. A database will always have, if it's a relational database, one or more related tables. So for example, a school database might have tables for student, it might have tables for teacher, it might have tables for parents. These tables will be related somehow. A table will hold information about the person, as I've just summarised. An entity is an object about which data can be collected. So for example, if we're thinking about a student, information that could be collected about a student could be student name if they have any medical issues, or if they have any other family relations within the school. Tables, forms, queries, reports and modules. These are aspects of a database which can be used at different times. So for example, tables are used to store data. If we're thinking about a school scenario, tables can store multitudes of different pieces of information. Forms have multiple uses, so for example, being able to use them to set up a query, being able to look at other pieces of information, or being able to use for general access around the database. Microsoft Access software uses something like a form called a switchboard for going around different areas of a database. Queries, or as OCR likes to call it, interrogation, searching for specific data within a database. Reports are used for presenting information from a database, and modules are pre-written programs for specific actions. A nice way to think about this is if you are querying the Google database, there is a Google table which stores all the information which holds. Google.com is a form which you can use to then interrogate it, which then runs a query, which then searches for information, which is then reported to you in a nice friendly way. If you think back about school as well, you have school reports issued which have different information about you, such as behaviour records or course grades or course information. Again, held in a table, submitted in a form, query for an individual student, and then report is printed out for you. Modules can be used for different bits of programming which needs to take place behind the scenes, which you don't often see but you need to be aware of. Logical operators in a database query. If you think back to good old maths lessons, you've got greater than, less than, equal to. You can also have greater than and equal to, less than and equal to. If we look here, this is a table which has been taken straight from an OCR exam. If we had select a song, which we're looking at the song column, where times played is greater than 2, straight away, times played is greater than 3, so it would return holidays. Seeing you, times played is 0, so it wouldn't return that. Truly cool, times played 11, it would return that, and so on. Logical operators are really important, and there's a lot of times in exams people have lost marks because they've got the greater than and less than signs confused. Easy way to think about that, think back to the TV adverts, think about More Than car insurance. Please note this is not a cheap plug. I'm not paid for at all by More Than car insurance, but their logo feature is the greater than sign. Nice, easy way to remember it. Key fields, sometimes called a primary key or a foreign key, are used to link up different tables. So you can see here on this example, we've got 3 tables, we've got orders, we've got line items, we've got products. You can see product ID also features in line items, and order ID features in orders. So what this does is it helps to avoid data duplication, and it means that data can be shared much more easily, and also that data cannot be replicated. If you have replicated data, it's going to take more space, it's going to be slower, generally bad times. And finally, validating data. There's 4 validation checks which you can think of. So for example, date check for 26/04/2016. You don't want to be able to put in a date which is incorrect or add letters into it. Length check, for example, for phone numbers, standard UK phone numbers, 5 digits followed by 6 digits. Format check. In this example, we're looking at postcode. So for example, having 2 letters, 2 numbers, a letter and 2 numbers. And data type check. So for example, if they're trying to write in a number and they're writing the word pineapple. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're revising for your exams, good luck. I hope you do really well for them. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video.